Let's get this show on the road. Okay, I'm breathe. Oh, check out my shirt. Okay. Oh, I see. I don't know what to do with my hands. Ricky Bobby. Do I go out or do I go in? There's no natural movement I can make that feels comfortable. I'm not a waver. That's the problem. 40 minutes later. Hi everyone. I'm Shaun, and today I'm going to go through a list of 21 books I plan to read in 2021. So, 14 of these books are off of a list of 1,000 books to read, and 7 are not. So the first book on the list is The Best of Me by Nicholas Sparks. I have read about a half dozen Nicholas Sparks books, and I like the first 3 or 4 that I read pretty well. But after that, I got tired of his books pretty quick. I would read about 100 pages and then I'd just be done with it. It felt like the same book I read before. I think my mom may have gotten it for me from a library or book sale or something like that, or a yard sale or whatever. And it's just been on my shelf for a few years, so I want to read it and be done with it. Look, it says quality guaranteed. We'll see about that. Okay, the next book... Okay, the next book was a tough decision for me because there's 2 I really wanted to read. Michael Crichton, Prey and Sphere. Nicholas Sparks... Not Nicholas Sparks. 30 seconds later. So I've read quite a few Michael Crichton books. I would guess somewhere about 8 or 9. The ones I really remember liking are Jurassic Park and Airframe. To me, Michael Crichton was an author who was either hot or not. He had some hits and he had some misses. I have sort of been saving Sphere because a lot of fans of Michael Crichton list Sphere as their favorite book by him. Jurassic Park is also up there, as is the Andromeda Strain. So I think I'm going to read Prey next and save Sphere for last. Okay, book number 3 on the list is Into the Black by Beth Barany. I forgot to say in the introduction, you should be prepared for me to butcher a lot of these names because I am not good at pronouncing names. This is a book that was given to me by an author on Twitter. So Beth, thank you very much for the book. It's going to be the next book I add to my currently reading list. So this will be an early book for me to read in 2021. I do love the cover. It's a gorgeous cover, I think. What do you think? The next book is A Wild Ride Through the Night by Walter Moers. Moers is a brilliant German writer and illustrator. I think he's a genius. Most of the books he has published in English are part of the Zimonia series. This one is not. This is just, I think, a single title novel. So it's going to be a bit different, I expect. But I really look forward to reading this. I love Moers. I think he's a genius. Next may be a little difficult to see on camera, but it's A Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. I did like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Around the World in 80 Days, so I do look forward to reading this, and it's a gorgeous book. Okay, and next is The Readers of Broken Wheel Recommend by Katrina Bivald. I don't know anything about this book, but I saw it for sale somewhere or another, I imagine at Target. And I got it because I think it was her debut book. And I like writers, and I figure if it's a debut book, I want to support the writer. so I just went ahead and bought it. It's not signed or anything. I don't really know a thing about it, except it's apparently about books. So I thought I'd give it a try and support a new author out, so that's next. And then we get into Goldfinger by Ian Fleming, the author of the James Bond books. Yes, if you didn't know, James Bond is based off a literary character. James Bond, created by Ian Fleming. I will probably wind up doing a video dedicated to Ian Fleming's James Bond books, so I don't want to get too into detail, but Goldfinger is the only book in this set that I haven't read yet, and after Goldfinger I only have 1 or 2 more Ian Fleming books to read before I've read all of his James Bond books. So Goldfinger is next. First off the top 1000 list is A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. I have never seen the play or the movie, so I don't really know at all what this is about. Next is Let Us Now Praise Famous Men by James Agee. I've heard of this, but I don't know anything about it, but there we go. Next would be Humphry Clinker by Tobias Smollett. I have no clue, but this looks like it'd be a humorous book. We will see. I'm going to butcher this name so bad, but the next one is Sophocles? Sophocles, it must be Sophocles. The Complete Plays. I do not much like these kind of books. I don't much like plays to begin with, especially ancient plays, because I do not understand a lot of the time what is happening. But it's a top 1000 book, so there we go. The next book would be Angel of Repose by Wallace Stegner. The first red flag here is that it says Pulitzer Prize winner. That is a red flag, because I have never really read a book that won a Pulitzer that I enjoyed. The Pulitzer is usually a mark of a bad book. I don't know anything about it, and that's the way I like to read books. I don't like to know anything about the book before reading it. I just like to start the book and see if the author can pull me in or not. Next on the list is D.H. Lawrence, Sons and Lovers. No clue about it, but it's on a to-read list. Okay, and then the next book would be Lloyd Alexander, The Book of Three. I do not know what it's about. It's apparently book 1 in a series. It looks like a fantasy. I'm not big on fantasy, but we'll see. Have any of you read this book? Do you know what I'm getting into? Do you like this book? Let me know. The next book is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. No clue what it's about, but we'll give it a try. Next is a book that I actually began a year or 2 back. That is Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper. I wasn't really enjoying it very much, but I did not quite want to give it up yet, so I'm going to give it another chance. I'm about 50 pages in. Next is Carson McCullers, The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. No clue about it, but there we go. I don't like plays and I don't like poetry, but the next book is Maya Angelou. I don't know if it's Angelou or Angelo. It must be Angelou. Angelo. Anyway, it's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Did you hear that, Snowflake? It's about you. I've never read any of her poetry before, but I'm going to give it a shot. So there we go. The next book on the list is Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. No clue about it. Giving it a shot. And then the next book is Faust by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. First part. This is only the first part. I don't know if I'm going to read part 2. We'll see. but it is another play. Something like this for plays, I think I may enjoy it more if I actually see the play and then read the book, because then I'll understand more who the characters are, what's going on. And when I read the play then, I could kind of delve or dive. Either way, I could delve and dive into the play more if I've seen it. And last on the list is Tim O'Brien, The Things They Carried. This is kind of like a memoirs of his time in Vietnam, but I think it's kind of fictionalized a bit. And that's the list of 21 books to read in 2021. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.